This is Camden Town in London, and I'm looking for the house of Bob Cratchit. Name sounds familiar? That's because he's one of the characters in Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. OK, so this isn't really Camden Town, but it's a good copy, isn't it? It's actually Studio A at Shepperton Studios, just outside London. Shepperton has been home to many great films in the past. Oliver, The Guns of Navarone, and Princess Bride were all filmed here. More recently, Kevin Costner was swinging through these rafters as Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. This is just part of the set for a new feature film version of A Christmas Carol. And I am dead excited because the big American star has agreed to give me an interview. All I have to do, though, is find his dressing room. So come on, follow me.
Hi there, Diane. Hey, we have plenty of time when we're doing movies because of makeup taking just a little while.
Oh,
of course, frogs don't take much makeup.
Well, I was going to say you look pretty good, actually.
Wow,
You've got a very nice complexion.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My eyes are bulging a bit this morning, but we just sort of take the shine off.
I'm so honoured to be working with such a big star. I've never ever met anybody so famous in my life.
Well, when you talk to him later, let me know. I'd like to watch.
Well, should we just get to the interview?
Sure. This is the Muppet version of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
And what part do you play?
I play the part of Bob Cratchit.
Excuse me there, Kermit, but we need you on the set.
Oh.
Pardon me.
Diane, I'm sorry, I'll have to go.
Will we be able to continue this later on?
Oh, sure, Diane. In the meantime, why don't you take a look at the costume shop down the hall?
Oh, great.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So Diane went off to the costume store, hoping Kermit wouldn't be too long on the set.
Oh, excuse me, please. Do you know where the costume store is?
Oh, you want Polly Smith. Straight up the stairs, first door on the right.
Thanks very much.
You're
Bye.
welcome.
What's it like dressing a Muppet?
It's exactly like dressing a human being, except for the size. They're very different. They range from very teeny, like this little hat.
Sweet.
And then we have little glasses. And we have to make all our shoes as well.
And do you keep it in the period, for this particular film?
I certainly try to. I've done a little smock here for Rizzo the Rat, and actually smocked it just like they would have.
Diane, I think I've finally found a nice quiet spot to do the interview.
A graveyard?
Well, yes.
It's a bit spooky in here, isn't it?
Oh, yes, but it's very restful and peaceful.
What's this scene in the film?
Oh, this is the scene where Scrooge gets brought here by the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
All right.
It's a little spooky.
A big demanding role like this must be so...
And so at last, the interview was to begin.
Do you know, something strange keeps happening. Every time I go to speak, I keep hearing a voice.
You mean like the voice of someone possibly telling you what's going to happen next?
That's exactly what it's like.
I think you should take a look right over there.
And Diane turned slowly around and, to her surprise, saw Gonzo. And he was describing everything that was going on.
Gonzo, why do you keep describing everything?
Well, that's my job. You see, I'm playing the part of Charles Dickens in this movie that we're making. And it's the first time I've ever had a serious dramatic role.
I haven't met the Muppet who's playing Scrooge. Who's that?
Well, and as Diane asked the question, a huge black figure loomed out from the shadows towards her.
I am Michael Caine, and I am not a Muppet.
Michael, what's it like working with those superstar Muppets?
It's a great pleasure for me to finally meet up with them, you know. And they're really very charming people, basically. All the Muppets are.
So what's your favourite bit in the movie?
My favourite bit in the movie so far, there's a rabbit called Bean. And he's the cutest little rabbit you've ever seen. And he comes to my door and he sings Good King Wenceslas and asks Scrooge for money. And I screw up a Christmas wreath and throw it at him. All the Muppets are so wonderful and charming. To throw this villain, this terrible person in the middle of them, it's very funny.
Well, it's 8 years since your last movie.
Yes.
How do you feel about doing this one?
I feel great. You know, it's a Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. It's a classic. It's a great story. And what?
What's happening?
Uh-oh. I think that's a wrap, Diane.